All right, so spot healing brush tool. The topic objective is spot healing brush tool. You write that down. And then the essential question is, how do I use the spot healing brush tool to airbrush a portrait? So here's the portrait. You'll see a lot of times in industry, I guess, you'll see those airbrush photos of people. They're not real. That's not actually how they look, like on magazines and stuff. So you see a portrait, they have like flawless skin and stuff. No one has that. So this is what they do, or this is the first process they do. They do some more advanced things, but this is kind of what this is the first steps they use. So what we're going to do on the side is we're just going to write steps, and then I'm going to tell you the tool we're going to use is the spot healing brush tool. Healing brush tool. So the spot healing brush tool is the one over here. It looks like a Band-Aid with a little circle, dot, dot, dot circle here. So it's the very first one in the section here, right under this kind of divider line under the eyedropper. Spot healing brush tool. There's also the healing brush tool, but we're not going to use that. We're going to use the spot healing brush tool. I think we used the healing brush tool on the last one. So there are some settings that we're going to change or make sure that they're actually correct. This brush, you can kind of just keep it like that. There's a size and the hardness, but we don't need to worry about that right now. The mode, we're going to keep normal. You can switch between lightening and darkening. So if the blemish is darker than the skin, which it is here, I would select light. If it was lighter than the skin, I would hit darken. But normally I just hit normal just because I don't have to deal with all that stuff. Also, you have 3 different types. The one we always use is content aware. And then always make sure you have checked sample all layers. Because what we're going to do is we're going to go down here and actually create a new layer on top of this background layer. You have to take my vest. Well, I don't know my vest. Never mind. So spot healing brush tool. So just make sure that you have in here, we can go ahead and write these in the steps as well. Mode equals normal. Type equals content aware. And then sample all layers is checked. Great. So those are steps, kind of how you do it, or how you set up, I guess. And then all we do is we have this tool selected, and you'll see kind of a circle floating around. You can change the size of the circle with the bracket keys like you do a normal brush. Okay, so you might want to put that down. Change brush size with bracket keys. What's that? Change brush size of bracket keys. And what you want to do is kind of, when you do it, you want to change it to where it's just slightly bigger than the blemish that you want to cover. Okay, so you can put that down too. Slightly larger than blemish. Now you have these large patches here. What we're going to do is you can actually click and drag or just kind of work on the outside and work your way in. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to start on this side of the image, and that's a pretty good brush size right there. Click. See how it disappears. That's kind of all you do. So on the bigger pieces, you don't want to just go in there and click because it kind of looks weird. You want to kind of work your way from the outside in. See how it's coming back like that. So work around kind of here. You might want to increase your brush size here too. Work on the bigger. You can also click and drag. It kind of works better for like larger patches. Okay. So you just click around. It's a pretty easy tool, and it has a pretty good effect. It's like magic almost. So all those probably acne commercials that you see, they probably take 2 pictures at the same time and just go around and clean it back up, because they're not going to ask for that person to come back in, a month or whatever. That's pretty good. On her neck here, you can even get rid of her freckles if you wanted to. I mean, all I'm doing is clicking. I can even get rid of her nose ring. That didn't look as rough. Might have to decrease the size some. Let's see. There you go. That's a nose ring. So it's a pretty cool magical tool, is what I call it. There you go. So this is the finished result. And that's the beginning. That's the end. So how easy I might have to work a little more in the mouth corner here, but now you don't want to. Sometimes, like if you're going like this, it kind of makes it look weird, right? You can't just do it. You got to be kind of precise with it. You can't just color over it. It just looks weird. I guess you get rid of her nose that way if you want to. I don't know what this will look like. Let's see. There you go. I got rid of her nose. So what it does is it samples the area around it and tries to fill it in. So Photoshop is really smart about that. You can get some pretty cool. I mean, you can clean up lots of things. If she had an earring here, I guess you could clean up her a freckle there. Not saying that I have tons of freckles. I'm just saying get rid of all that stuff if that was what you wanted. So then what they do we're not going to do it here, but what they'll do is everyone has like these, you can kind of see like hairs everywhere on their body, on their face, right? So what they'll do is they'll come back with a smoothing brush to make it all look smooth and clear. But that's the first step they would spot heal everything, all the blemishes that they want to cover up. I guess for steps, slightly larger than blemish, I can say click small spots, click and drag larger spots. And then for the summary, you can say what the spot healing brush tool is used for. Spot healing brush tool is used for clearing blemishes or making, really what it does, it makes a texture uniform. That's the whole idea, is it tries to copy the uniform texture around to cover up anything that's not uniform. I misspelled blemishes. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. So here we go. Go ahead and fill that focus note out. This is the picture you're going to work in. It shouldn't take you very long because it's really just clicking. Just make sure that your settings here are correct. You can use the bracket tools to increase or decrease the size here. Content aware, sample all layers, normal. You can mess around with these other ones if you want to, but normal's fine if you just keep it normal. Yeah, that's it.